Hi, I'm INTCITIUM, and today we're continuing the Godot game. So, we're back in Godot, and the first thing that I did is fix the texture for my player. So, in the beginning it was transparent, and now it is finally better, I'll say. So, yeah, there are the 3 frames. And the first thing that we will do today is changing this guy, the area 2D, because I accidentally put in the wrong one before. I'm very sorry. So change it to kinematic body 2D. It acts similar, but it's kinematic body 2D is more for players. So yeah, first you should do that. Okay, so next you go project settings, then will come this, then you click on input map, put in an action, for example left, like walker left, and then you click on add, then you will go do the same thing for walk right and for jump. There we go. So next we have to, so they actually can do anything, we have to click on physical key or key, doesn't really matter because it's kind of similar, but there I clicked on physical key, then click on the key you want to combine it with, and then just do that for every single key. I will use WASD, but without the S, because we don't have like sneaking or something like that, because we're not really in a 3D game, for example, or something like that. And I will also put in the arrows keys into it, so in case some people don't know how to use WASD, you can also use the arrow keys. And I will change walk left and walk right to left and right, since it's easier to write later. So now we hit close, go on player, add a new script, click create, and then you will see this little text. You can read it, and it will give you some little information about the bases, about the coding parts. And first of all, we're going to make a variable called motion, which equals to a vector2 in parentheses 0 and 0. Which gives us the direction of the motion. So next we will create a const, which is a constant variable. We'll call it speed for the player speed. Let's put random numbers, like for example 200. And next we will create our first function with func, then underscore physics process, which basically runs this function every frame. Then we'll put in if input dot is action pressed. There we go. And then we put in our keybind that we called it left. There we go. And not input dot is action pressed. What? Oh. Is action pressed right. So it will only activate to go left later if we don't click right at the same time, because else it will be a little bit of a lag, I'll say. Then we'll gonna lag left and right like extremely fast. And next we will write down motion.x equals negative speed, because motion is our vector2, and then the x coordinate is basically the first number, and then we do equals negative speed, which does speed but in the negative, and it's negative speed because we want to go left. And just imagine a little coordinate system, and then you would also go right if it's positive and left if it's negative. So yeah, let's just copy that whole thing with Control-C, then we paste it just after, and change left and right, or we'll switch it up. There we go. And left. There we go. And we will have to change this to positive speed since we're going right now instead of left. And now let's make a little bit of space between our physics process function and our constant variable. And we should change physics process to another function called move, which we will build ourselves. And let's also make a new physics process, and it's just easier to put in now move because we're also going to have different functions and not just move, like for example later jump or stuff like that. And like in most video games that are 2D and are platformer style, we will also have to make a third condition where we will just set motion.x to 0, which means we do not move. So we can go left, we can go right, or we can just stay put. Next, we will have to put in move and slide. In parentheses, we will put in our variable motion. So basically what move and slide does, it just uses the vector and basically changes the position. And yeah, let's see. This is our player. And this, I'm not sure if you can see it yet, there. This blue thing is the screen. And you can kind of tell the player is kind of small, right? So, in order to make him more visible, we will go to animated sprite and change the scale up just a little bit. I think that should be enough, maybe too big? Yeah, way too big. Okay, so let's put it down by a little bit. How about, I don't know, 10? I think that looks good. Let's see, 10. And yeah, that should be pretty good. Next, because our player won't be really like visible very well, we'll just put it somewhere on the screen. The blue box is, by the way, the screen, in case you didn't notice. Then we'll just run the game, and there we go. But one problem you will maybe have noticed, we can't go left. We can only go right, which is kind of weird if you think about it. So let's go back to our code. Did you already notice what we have done wrong? Check exactly. This is a function, and we're doing if. And if the first if is true, the second if cannot be run. So we have to change it to elif, which is basically the thing between if and else. Elif, the combination. So now let's test our code again. And here we go. We have a character that can move left and right. That is kind of good, actually. But it doesn't really look smooth, right? So how about next we will add the animation. So yeah. Oh, what? No, the texture. There we go, we're back, and I finally finished the texture. So now you do $animated sprite dot play in parentheses whichever one you want to play, or however you called your frame kind. And because we will use running, because the character is going to run if we go left or right. So we can now also copy and paste this. There we go. Then we got it on both. And on the last one, we will change it to idle. There we go. Idle. And now if we play, let's go. The character is perfectly animated. Maybe it's not the best animation that I did, but it's pretty good, I think. So, that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed us creating the animated character. To not miss any more episodes, subscribe.